Dang, Joe, you are ready and waiting. I love it. Hi, guys. All right, let me make sure I got this all set up. Okay. Let me just get this back a little bit. Okay. Hopefully you can see me okay. Hi guys, happy Monday. Today I'm going to be doing a Sculpt with bands class. If you have bands, that's fantastic. If you don't, no big deal. I'll offer some modifications as we go so that you're getting a workout with or without the bands. Also for today, I'm going to be using a block, which you don't have to have a block. You can use a book or a pillow or you need something with like a little bit of structure. So again, I would recommend probably a pillow or a book, nothing that too heavy. And then you have the option to use weights if you like, at least one weight. We're gonna hold one weight. I don't have any weights at home, so I'm going to use one of my water bottles and hopefully I drink enough that it gets lighter as I go. But yeah, you're welcome to grab weight if you have it or something else that you can hold. Again, we'll be holding the weight for the most part lengthwise. So you don't necessarily want a heavy object like a book for the grip for what we're doing today. And then a block or something like that. And then if you have a band, really any band is going to be helpful. If you have choices, then I would do a heavier resistance band. We are going to be using the band around our legs. Around the bottom of our thighs for at least 2 rounds. So take your time. We still have a couple minutes before I get started. So take your mind to grab what you need and set up some music, set up a playlist. I'm going to be playing a little bit of music, but I'm going to keep it pretty quiet. So if you want to pick out something else, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so we're going to take the rest time down to, I think we've done 30 seconds in the past. With the band, sometimes it's a little bit trickier, so I'll do 40 seconds rest time in between each round, and that should give us plenty of time to rest and then get set up for where we're headed next. Okay. All right, so if you're just now joining, grab a block or something like it. Grab a band if you have it. If you don't, no problem. And then last but not least, grab a weight if you have it. But again, just a recommendation, you absolutely don't have to have it. Okay. We'll take another moment here. If this is your first Sculpt class, again, I'll offer modifications as we go if you're looking for more or looking for less. My favorite thing about this Sculpt is that it's pretty low intensity, so it's especially a little bit gentler on the joints, and we're not going to be doing a lot of running, in place or jumping, so it should be a little bit more gentle, like I said. So go ahead, take another minute, and then we will get started. We'll get started with about a 4 or 5 minute warm up, and then we'll go into 4 different rounds. There'll be 8 sets in each round, 40 seconds of a high, 20 seconds of a static stretch, and then we'll do 40 seconds rest in between each round, and then we'll end with a cool down as well. So go ahead and grab your props if you have them. And let's go ahead and get started in a downward facing dog. All right, and then we'll start our timer. So go ahead, step to downward facing dog, spread your fingers wide, and then take some movement here. Pedal through your heels, bend your knees, move your hips from side to side. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And if it feels better for you to hold your downward facing dog in stillness right from this start, you're more than welcome to do so. Energetically reaching your heels toward the mat behind you. Again, working to shift the weight out of the back of your wrist, so pressing into the center of your palm, pressing into your index knuckle, pressing into your thumb knuckle. Take a big breath in through the nose, and then a big breath out, and continue lifting your hips, your sits bones up to the ceiling. On your next inhale, press up onto the balls of your feet, and slowly like a wave, start to ripple through this spine. Make your way to a high plank pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Arms are straight and strong. Again, pressing into the center of the palms. Find that space between your shoulder blades and lift. Core starts to engage here. Pull the low belly up and in. Hug your navel to your spine. And think about flattening through the low back. So reach your tailbone toward the back of the mat. Take a big breath in. Shoulders press away from ears. And on your exhale, go ahead and release your knees down to the mat. Readjust your hands, your knees if you need to come into a tabletop position. And then start to move through a few cat-cows. So inhale, belly drops, chin lifts, hips lift. Exhale, round through the spine. Chin to chest, bottom ribs press up to the ceiling. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, round. A few more at your own pace, your own breath. Feel free to add in any additional movements you might need here. Barrel rolls through the spine, additional rolls through the shoulders, through the neck. And then coming back to a static tabletop, tuck your toes. Inhale, hover your knees off the mat just an inch, hovering tabletop bear pose. So again, shoulders stay stacked over wrist, pressing into the center of the palms. Hug your low belly up and in. Starting to connect with your Mula Bandha, your Uddiyana Bandha, the two lower energy locks of the body. Take a big breath in through the nose, and on your exhale, lift your hips back and up. Make your way to your downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat, step your feet forward, make your way to Malasana, Yogi Squat. Heels in, toes out. Move slowly, be gentle with your hips, with your knees. I know that this is everyone's favorite yoga pose or least favorite yoga pose, I get it. Your heels may or may not connect with the mat, no big deal. Your hips might not be this low, that's okay too. Move to a place where you can breathe and do whatever you need to make this pose accessible, whether that's bringing a block beneath your hips or a pillow beneath your hips, it's totally fine. If you want to bring in some movement here, maybe moving from side to side, if you want to take a twist, opening to the left or opening to the right. If you'd like to move through a few more cat-cows, broadening through the front side of your body and then rolling through the spine, pressing into the outside edges of your feet, dropping your chin to your chest. And then coming back to center, plant your palms onto the mat. Inhale, lift your hips up, come into a forward fold. Pivot your heels behind your toes. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Your legs don't have to be straight. Let's move into a wide ragdoll. So reach your opposite elbows. Bend your knees to connect your belly and your thighs. And then just bring a little bit of movement, swinging side to side. And then gently release, come back to center. Inhale to a halfway lift, low belly up and in. Shift the weight forward, shoulders away from ears. And then exhale, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe palms to shins or palms to thighs. Navel to spine connection. Exhale, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Last one. Inhale, create length through the sides of your body. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Go ahead and heel toe your feet together. And this time on your inhale, circle sweep your arms up overhead, mountain pose Tadasana. Circle your right fingertips around your left wrist. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, side bend over to the right. Keep your hips and your shoulders square toward the front of your mat. Shift your weight into your heels. Keep your chin off your chest. Inhale through center, switch the grip. Left fingertips around right wrist, and exhale, side bend over to the left. Use the grip of your fingertips around your wrist to create even more length, even more space through the right side of your body. Inhale through center, and on your exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full plant the palms, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward with your knees lifted or lower. You can always lower them onto the mat, but on your exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Release tops of your feet to the mat, press into your palms. Inhale, lift to cobra. It could be a baby cobra or more of a full-grown adult cobra. It's up to you. Rounding through your collarbone, shoulders away from ears. Squeeze your glutes, press your thighs, the tops of your feet into the mat. Exhale, uncurl the spine, bring the belly to chest back to mat, tuck your toes. Inhale, press up one piece, high plank. Exhale, lift your hips back and up, down, you're facing dog. Look to the top of your mat, step your feet forward, and then go ahead and grab your band if you have it. Whatever level band you have, the level of resistance, doesn't matter. Use what you can. Go ahead and bring the band around the bottom of your thighs. So this is where we'll be for our first and for our third rounds. And the trick is to have the band low enough to where it's not cutting into the outside edges of your knees, but high enough to where it's, high enough to where it's not cutting into your knees, but low enough to where it's not going to roll on your thighs. It's kind of like that sweet spot right in the middle. And we're going to get started laying on the left side, and I'm going to try to face the camera the whole time so you can see what I'm doing and you're not just looking at the back side of my body. Go ahead and roll onto the left side. Legs are straight. Hips are stacked, ribcage stacked, shoulders stacked. So we are going to start by lifting our right leg up and then kicking our right heel straight back. Go ahead and begin. Little beep was the start of our timer. We've got 40 seconds here. Try to straighten your legs as best as possible. Take the bend out of your knees and then flex the toes back toward your face. Reach the heels away from your body. And then again, shoulders stacked, rib cage stacked, hips are stacked. And this class is all about slow, intentional movement. So it's not about how many reps you can get it in that 40 seconds, but can you really slow the movement down, especially the movement that is easy for the band. Think about 1 count to lift and 3 counts to lower. Go ahead and release, bend your knees. Come into a reclined twist. Flatten the top of your back on your mat, so right shoulder presses into the mat, and you have this 90-degree angle with your legs. Your right hip is stacked on top of your left. Right knee is stacked on top of left knee. And then go ahead and release that, stretch, come back to left side body, knees stay bent for side clamps. Keep your big toes connected here. Lift and lower your right leg. So this is what if you don't have your band, it's probably gonna feel pretty easy. In that case, I offer the option to float your feet off the mat and then keep that lift with your right leg. Try to keep your left leg, the top of your left thigh, connected to the mat the whole time. So that is an option if you have the bands, but if you don't, definitely float your feet off the mat. Notice my big toes, the inside edges of my feet are touching the whole time. And then again, I'm resting on my left side, whether you're on your forearm or you can rest your head in your hands. Go ahead and roll all the way onto the belly. I'll kind of turn towards you. We're making our way to Sphinx pose. So you guys can just roll over, bring your elbows under your shoulders, stretching your elbows and your wrists back to your hips, center the chest reaches forward. For this next one, you're gonna uncurl the spine, come all the way onto the belly, rest or step your palms, rest your forehead on your hands, and then lift and lower just your right leg. Go ahead and begin. Your left leg stays pressing to the mat. Your hip point should stay connected to the mat the whole time. Try to relax your neck and your shoulders. So really focus this work building your low back muscles, your glute muscles, and contracting your hamstrings. Again, if you don't have a band, you can go through the same motion. If you're looking for a little bit more, you're holding it at the top of your rep and pulsing. Just an inch, lift and lower in each direction. You've got about 10 seconds left here. Try to straighten out that right leg best as possible. We're gonna hold our leg for the low in 3, 2, 1. Keep your right leg lifted. Reach your right toes toward the back of the mat. And again, you're resting your forehead on your hands. Hip points stay connected to the mat. We're just about halfway through our first round. Go ahead and release your right leg down. Press up to a tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And for this first one, you're just gonna squeeze your right knee toward your right wrist and then bring it back to center. Slow, controlled movements. Maybe your knee, your wrist make connection, maybe not. Again, arms are straight and strong, press into the center of the palms. Feel your low belly contract as you pull your knee toward your wrist. Again, if you don't have the band, that's okay. Tuck your left toes, cover your left knee off the mat as you pull your right knee toward your right wrist. Again, that's an option if you have the band as well. It's up to you how much you're looking for today. Try not to let your belly or spine hammock. Keep your back nice and flat and your core contracted the whole time. 2, 1, nice work. Let's take a child's pose, hips to heels, and then start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Relax your neck, relax your head between your arms, and press your hips to your heels. We're gonna move through that same sequence on the other side. In 3, 2, 1. So this time, right side of your body rests onto the mat. Again, you can be on your forearm or rest your head in your hands. Left leg lifts up, left heel kicks straight back. So I hope you guys can see this okay. I'll try to shift. Legs are super straight. Heels reach away from the body. And again, really slow control movement, working against the momentum of the band. Hug your low belly up and in. Hug your navel to your spine. And think about reaching your tailbone toward the back edge of your mat. Last 10 seconds here. Notice if your chest is leaning forward as you kick your heel back. Try to keep everything super stacked the whole time. 2, 1. Nice work. Recline twist. So bend your knees, flatten the top of your back on the mat. Left shoulder presses into the mat. Belly and chest are relaxed. Left hip stacked on right. Left knee stacked on right. Go ahead and roll back over to the right side of your body. Again, you can stay on the right side, resting your head in your hands, or coming up onto your forearm. Side plans. Big toes stay touching. Lift and lower just your left leg. Right leg stays connected to the mat. So again, your option here, if you don't have a band, that same open-close movement, but your feet are floating off the mat. But the top of my right thigh stays connected, and my big toes stay connected the whole time, so my feet stay connected the whole time. Low belly up and in. Again, hips are stacked, shoulders stacked, core is stacked. You don't need to bring your legs all the way back together to touch. To keep a little bit of resistance on the band the whole time, it's just going to be a little bit more challenging. Last 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Straighten your legs. Roll all the way onto your belly. Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders. Traction the elbows, the wrists back toward the hips. Press the hips into the mat, the thighs, the tops of the feet into the mat. Shoulders away from ears. You've got 2 sets left in this first round. Uncurl the spine. Rest your forehead on your hands. This time, left leg lifted lowers. So reach your toes toward the back of your mat. Left leg is super straight. And again, if you don't, you're pulsing your left leg at the top of. Try to relax your neck. Try to relax your shoulders. And keep your right leg connected to the mat. Keep your legs super straight. You've got about 10 seconds left here. And 3, 2, 1. Nicer. Keep your left leg lifted. Keep it super straight. Hip points press into the mat. Take the bend out of your knee. Reach your toes toward the back of your mat. Use your low back strength. Here for just a few more seconds. Go ahead and gently release. Left leg down. Press up back to center together. Shoulders over wrists. Low belly up and in. Right knee off the mat the whole time. Well, I guess both knees are hovering, so you can hover both knees off the mat the whole time. Low belly pulls up and in. You've got about 10 seconds left here. Stay strong. Last 3, 2, 1. Nice work, child's pose. Hips to heels. Walk your hands over to the left. Press your hips to your heels. Relax your. All right, nice work. We've got about 40 seconds rest, so I think this will go in. If you have it from your thighs, set it to one side. For the second round, you're going to need a block or something like a block, so maybe a book. And also if you have the option to use a weight if you'd like to. We have about 15 seconds. All right, so go ahead and make your way to standing. We're gonna start with the figure 4 to one leg mountain pose. So ground into your left leg, float your right leg off the mat, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, come into a funky figure 4, and then come back to your one leg mountain pose. So slow control movement, working on balance here, working to build your stabilizer muscles. Use your core strength here, keep your chin off your chest. And again, all about breathing slow with intention. If you're looking for more, you can always kick your heel out at the top of your rep, kicking your right heel toward the front of your mat. Nice work, you've got about 10 more seconds here. Below, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Land with your right ankle crossed over your left thigh. I'll pivot toward the camera here. Flex your right toes towards your right knee and press your right knee away from your body. You can bend your left knee as much as you like to, and you can add a little bit of pressure here with the hands gentle on the knee joint. Gently release, grab your weight if you have one. We're gonna stay loaded in the left leg for bow extensions. Lift your weight up and over to the left and then pull the weight to your knee. So this is another one you absolutely don't have to have a weight. Just balancing on one foot for 40 seconds can be challenging enough. This is all about building core strength. So hips and shoulders stay square to the front of your mat. Left leg stays super strong. Contract your left thigh, press into your left big toe. Keep your chin off your chest. You can always set your right foot down onto the mat for a little bit of extra stability. But for the extra challenge, you keep it floating the whole time. Last 5 seconds here. 2, 1. Nice work. Land your right foot on the mat. Come into a wide ragdoll. You can set your weight to the top of your mats. Feet are wider than hip width distance. You can grab your elbows and sway side to side. Come back to center. Step your left foot to the top of your mat. Step your right foot back so that you're in a lunge position. Left fingertips reach up. And then tap your right knee down to the mat and lift it. Keep your left knee stacked over your left ankle so your left knee, left toes track in this same direction. And you can always grab that block beneath your right hand for a little bit of extra support. Try to keep your hips pretty square toward the front of your mat here. Use your core strength. Pull your low belly up and in and just gentle taps with your right knee onto the mat. You can move as fast, as slow as you want to here. You're in control again if you're looking for more, if you're looking. 2, 1. Nice work. Hold your lunge with an easy twist. With or without the block, it's up to you. Open your chest to the left side of your mat. Maybe you're able to lift your gaze up to your left fingertips. Press off of your right toes. Keep your right leg strong. Gently release. Step your right foot to meet your left at the top of your mat. Strong. Halfway through this set, notice if you're rounding forward or if you're back bending. Try to keep this action. Center glute is good for building strength, preventing injuries. You've got about 5 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Come back to center. Inner behind your back. Pull your hands to your right hip or to right side crunches. Weight in the right hand behind the head. Lean over to the right. So again, just little pulsing motions. If you have it, great. If you don't, no big deal. Tailbone reaches down. Feet are hip width distance. You want to create a really stable, strong foundation for yourself here. You can have a micro bend in your knees if that feels right. Back flat. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Lift through the center of your chest. Keep your chin off of your chest here. Be super strong. You don't have the strength of your legs to rely on this one. Keep your chest super lifted, navel to spine connection. Almost there, you've got tucked. Shoulders over hips, chest stays lifted for 3. Might not forward lean, that's okay. Anchor your sits bones to your inner thighs. Try not to let them separate through the duration of the exercise. You've got 5 seconds left here. 3, work your heels in as close. Your block up overhead, straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Bring the legs to your block, lower arm. This is it. Last 20 seconds of work here in your second round. Nice work. You've got 10 seconds left here. Below in your full. So over this back to our exercise where it won't roll high enough to where it won't cut onto your knees. And then go ahead. Let's start. Point your toes. You're tapping your right toes forward, and then you're lifting up and over and tapping right toes back. So rolling onto the belly for Sphinx for our low in 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Roll onto the belly. Tops of the thighs press into mat, elbows under shoulders. What's the problem? He's upset because when I got home, he thought we were going for a ALK, but instead we're doing Sculpt, and he's a little bit less enthused. Again, hip points should stay connected to the mat the whole time. Left leg should stay connected to, you've got 10 seconds left. Remember, we're holding our leg lifted for the low in 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Lift your right leg off the mat. Good. Gently release the option to float your, but right leg should stay connected to the ground the whole time. Halfway through this set, glutes should be burning. Last 7 seconds here. We're rolling onto the belly for the low. 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs. Roll onto your belly. Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders. Stretching the elbows. Wrists back toward the hips. Feel like you can take a few circles through the neck. Lift your left shoulder. Let your head hang head. Come back to center, uncurl the spine, stack the palms, left leg lift and lowers. Again, if you don't have the band, you can hold at the top range of motion. Already over half through the set. Hip, right leg stays connected to the mat. Last 3, 2, and point or flex your toes. Both are going to help you contract the muscle in your leg. In second round, or something like both of those. Figure 4, and this time we're going to ground it. Arms can come up to frame the ears, or hands can stay at heart center the whole time. Your choice. Big breath. And then cross your left ankle, over, bending your knee. Flex your toes, back left knee. Use your core strength. You can always add the kick of the heel forward, the top of your rep. You're looking for a little bit more. 5, 3, 2, shoulders away from your left and first and third rounds. Go ahead and release, grab your weight if you have it. We're going to stay grounded with the knee taps. So lifting and lowering left knee this time. Right knee is stacked over right ankle. Right knee, right toes point toward the top of your mat. They always track in the same direction. There you are. Hi, buddy. Big stretch. Yeah, shown off is downward facing dog. It will always be better than mine. It's fine. I'm aware of this. Core stays strong. Length through right side body. Pressing the block together between your hands. Squeeze the block. Already halfway through this set. Chin stays. Eagle arms for the low. In 3, 2, 1. Elbows to cross at the wrists. Hi, buddy. And not running forward, not back bending. Chin stays off behind your head, or you feel your left oblique contract as you lean over to the left. Halfway through this set. You've got it. You've got about 3 sets. Able to spine connection for 3, 2. Gently on top of each other. Try to straighten your legs as best. Last round. Grab your block. Block, hands to feet. Reach your block up overhead. Lift your legs. Switch. Straight as possible. It's okay if you have a bend in the knees. We've got 7 seconds left. Into our bend your knees. Grip behind you. Lean back. Fingertips can be forward or fingertips can point toward the back of your mat. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex the right toes. Variation of sleeping pigeon. Half your right knee over your chest to the right side of your mat. Lean your weight forward. Make your back as flat as possible. Pull your right shoulder back. Press your left shoulder forward. And release. Come through center. Big breath in. Arms reach up. Exhale. Open over to the left. Right hand to left knee. And lean your weight forward onto your sits bones. Lift through the center of your chest. And then if it feels okay in your neck, shift your gaze over your back shoulder. And hands to heart center. I encourage you to take